Hi, and welcome to my guide for the Paladin Mage Tower. Before we begin, I just want to go over a couple things first. What you're about to see pop up on the screen are the consumables I used. Don't use lay barbecue ribs, use bear tartar. It'll make the fight much easier, especially in phase 1. But that's what I've used for my consumables. For the talents, this is what I used for the encounter, but I honestly think Judgment of Light is going to be better, as well as Fist of Justice could possibly be better than Blinding Light. Blinding Light would be super helpful for the ads, but I don't even think I used it once during the fight. I could be wrong, but either of those I think you could make an argument for. So on to the actual fight. So a couple things first. Avoid knockbacks from the Infernals. Face at the eyes during the Inquisitive Stare cast. Interrupt Drain Life. And make sure you're not taking more than 5 stacks, unless you plan on doing something about that. And so what I mean is stunning Varus or interrupting him, something like that. Have a plan for how you're going to handle that next mind blast that he uses. So what you're going to see me do right here, right at the beginning, is I'm going to pop my cooldowns and 1 potion for a pre-pot, and just try to do as much damage to him as I can. So here I'm going to go in and just go ahead and get started with that. You're going to notice that an eye is going to pop up, and what I'm going to do is kind of position myself in a way that I can just hit it with Judgment and just go ahead and get that one knocked out of the way and not have to worry about it. And you'll see me do it right there, and now I'm just going right back on Varus. What I'm doing right now is kind of waiting for Drain Life, and there it is, so I'm going to interrupt that. And so now that I've done that, I'm going to try to get a little bit more damage. I'm going to go out. I'm very high on my stacks, so that's why I went ahead and interrupted Varus right there. So now the stacks will clear off, and I'm back to normal health. As these ads come out, I'm just going to want to group them up, and what you're going to see what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring them back over to Varus and stand right on the edge of the circle where I'm not getting the debuff. This allows you to use Avenger's Shield on Varus and have it bounce to the ads. So that way you can keep your damage going on Varus while cleaving down the ads fairly quickly. And I would just personally suggest always trying to stay around the edge of Varus as you're doing the fight in general, just so you can constantly be getting damage in on them. If you're using hammers, they can hit him just from the edge as they swing forward, so it gives you that just a little bit more damage. Now, you saw it probably a couple times right there, is after interrupting Varus, sometimes he'll move towards you like a normal mob would. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be how it is or not, because he doesn't do it all the time, which is very annoying, and it just makes the fight just a little bit harder than I feel like it should be, but just be aware of that too and make sure you're backing up. Whenever you have some extra free time, make sure you're going around the room getting rid of those eyes. They can just be a real pain in the ass pretty much, so make sure that you're killing those off as quickly as you can. You really don't want to spend too much time standing in one place. As you saw, I had to just do a little juke there. Also, you'll also notice was pretty much every time a set of ads come out, unless I can get them down insanely quickly, I'm just going ahead and using an orb every single time they come up. I've obviously skipped a couple, as you can see over there, but for the most part, if I feel like I'm in danger of dying, I'm going to use one of those. It's better to use them and not have them for later in this scenario, than to just not use them and die to Varus. If you feel like that's what's going to kill you, you need to go ahead and use it at that point, and I feel like that's set up for it to be this way as well. And since it also doubles as an interrupt, it's really good for getting the interrupt cast on Drain Life as well. So you'll see out here, I'm just going to go in, get some extra damage, try to push him down as much as I can. I won't have quite enough damage to push him into the next phase yet, so I'll go right back out and start taking care of this eye. This eye I had to figure out how to click on because I couldn't click on it from a distance or tab target it to it. And now I'm just going to wait for the ads to come out. I'm going to run in here and immediately just interrupt him just to get him to stop casting. I could have just run straight to the circle. I just wanted to be extra safe right there. Now I'm going to kind of group these guys up on the circle, around the circle, do some more damage to them. I'm getting Varus extremely low, but I'm just playing extremely safe here. I get a small knockback, and that's what happens if you get these Infernals down. When they shrink in size, their knockback is not nearly as powerful. So I'm going to kind of finish off this ad. Takes me a little bit longer than I probably should have. And then during this phase, make sure you're using the damage reduction for every single annihilate. You'll actually see right here, if you slow down the video, I actually miss the annihilate cast because I couldn't get him in melee range in time. So you can survive the first one. It's not suggested because you'll go down pretty low, and if you're low already, it won't be very, it won't be very fun. You'll probably die. So outside of that, the fight remains the same. Stay out of the green puddles. It's really hard to get out of them. I've been told that you can use Hand of Freedom to get out of it. Every time I tried to do this, it didn't feel like it was working. I get really lucky right there and not fall off from that knockback. Sometimes luck's going to help you out. So don't give up with these things. Keep going. Interrupt Twisted Reflection when that comes out. You can see I'm putting myself in a terrible position because right now I'm just trying to focus on staying alive. And what I should have done right here at this point is use one of these orbs just to delay the fight a little bit. I probably should have used them back to back. Instead, I'm going to use Guardian and take that next Annihilate, which was actually a mistake. In my head, I had my rotation for defensives to be Ardent Defender for that one. So that's a huge mistake that I just made, and now I'm going to have to adapt to deal with that. And basically what I'm going to have to do is right here is I end up having to bubble because I couldn't get out quick enough, but I also know that there's bound to be another Annihilate. There is. It comes in, it's absorbed by the shield, so that's one more way to avoid Annihilate. Now I have kind of messed myself up at this point. I don't really have another defensive for another Annihilate, so at this point I'm just going to go ahead and use Ardent Defender, to keep myself alive. You'll see that it almost immediately pops. So I completely saved myself from dying. At this point, I'm just trying to rush to kill the boss. He was about to cast another Annihilate, and since I killed him during Annihilate, he actually finished his cast as he was running to be defeated over there. So I do die at the end. But the point is, and if you want to break down my fight even more, is you can make a lot of mistakes and still be able to finish this boss off. It is difficult. I mean, I won't lie. It's difficult on pretty much all of the tanks in some way or another, but it's definitely doable, especially with Argus out and being able to get relinquished gear. Almost all of the gear that you saw that I had on my character was either relinquished. There was a couple mythic 10 pieces, but for the most part, the item level that I had is something achievable with just relinquished tokens as well. So it's something that's absolutely doable. Consumables aren't hard to get either, so I think anyone can do this. It's just going to take some time and effort. Don't sell yourself short. Just keep practicing at it. Don't expect it to happen in 1 or 2 pulls or even 10 pulls. The biggest part about getting the fight down is practicing it, doing it as many times as you can, and keep throwing yourself at it and try to learn from your mistakes. What are you messing up on? Is it the damage component of it? Are you not killing him fast enough? Are you messing up with your rotations of defensive cooldowns, kind of like I did? But you also have to react to the situation on a attempt by attempt basis. But the biggest point is keep trying if you haven't gotten it yet. Especially with Antorus coming out soon, you'll definitely be able to get it with the set bonuses, with the added gear from that, and Legendary is going up to 1,000. So I absolutely think it's possible for anyone to get these. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you like it. If you do, please, let me know, give it a thumbs up and all that stuff that people do. As well as tell me what I can do to improve. This is something I want to do. I've been wanting to do it for a long time. It's just finding time to do it. So please, 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 in the comments, let me know what I can do better, what I was terrible on, and just let me know what you think. So thanks again, guys, and I'll be back with the next one. I have the Warrior one done, the Prot Warrior one done, as well as the Guardian Druid one done as well, and I'll come out with videos of those shortly. So again, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.